side, we're going to be talking about our Google Classroom from the point of view of a teacher. And on the right side, it's going to be from the point of view of a student. And today's video is going to be about how to grade on Google Classroom, how to do auto grading, how to give feedback to a student, and how to have a comment bank to avoid all the hectic rewriting of the same feedback. So first things first, let's do a little grading. In our previous video, I showed you guys how you can create assignments. Well, what if we try to grade some of these assignments? Well, if we were to go, let's say, to this question, what is 2 plus 2? And let's say a student, you see somebody somebody was assigned to it, but this student didn't turn it in. That's why it says missing. So if you wanted to grade it with a 0, you could do that, and it'll save. Saving, there it is. And now, if you wanted to grade this student, it says turned in, you can click on it, and you see what he typed, all that stuff. This is a comment I did. I could say another one. What does this mean? And you can grade it to the best of your ability. Let's say the student answered it perfectly, so you can say a 5. You can say a 5 here as well. And you can actually go back to the question itself. Oops. Let it save. There it is. So with that in mind, let's, no, not discard. Can we discard? There it is. Student answers, there it is. So it's been saved. 5 points for this student who turned it in, 0 for this other one. Now, once you finish grading, you also have the option, you don't have to, but you also have the option of returning the assignment so students can see it. Otherwise, students will not know the grade. You can either avoid this and just put it on the grade book, or if you put feedback on it, you want to return it so they are notified to see it. So when you return it, and again, you can put a private comment for all of them. And you could also say for everybody, don't forget, this is a weekly assignment. And instead of posting it to every single student, this is like a generic comment for everyone. And there it is. It's going to send their grades. So on this side, I'm logged in as the smiley face, Robert Moduno, the one who didn't do it. If I were to go to that class, period 1, and that was the assignment, the question one, there it is. I'm gonna get, you see, it's been graded, but it was not answered. So the comment says again, don't forget this is a weekly assignment, you got to do it, etc. And if you wanted to see classmate answers, you would see other people who answered it as well. So once again, I didn't grade it. I got a 0 because it was not turned in. My grade would be, it used to be here for some reason. It's not there anymore. Oh, there it is. It's 0 out of 5. That's my grade. Now, you could do that with grading on the questions, or you could also do it with discard. You could also do it with a journal. If you assign a Google document, you can also grade here on the spot. Click on each student's document, and I'm going to make this bigger so you can see all the features available. So as a teacher, remember how on my other video I posted the directions, I made a copy for everybody, and here's what the student wrote. Now my grade, I could give the grade over here, 7, 8 out of 10, even 8.5 I think. But let's give the student an 8, right? Now you can see all these things. You can add the comments here about student, watch out for grammar. Watch out for grammar, right? And you know, you want to be careful with your own grammar too. Or you could be a little OCD about that. Or instead of posting it on the private comment, you can actually also comment within the document. So you can say here, put feedback, suggestion. No, what was it? There's a comment box somewhere. Suggesting, editing, viewing. There it is. So if you wanted to do at the beach, there it is. So you can do the comments for them, and be careful with this grammar. You can do that as well. Reply to it, and those are 2 comments from me as a teacher. Look at this one, slept, and that'll show up for the student as well. And I'm just gonna leave it like that. Maybe accept. Oh, okay. If I accepted it, it will fix it itself. But I don't want to, because I want the student to see it. Once I do that, as a student, let's see what they see. If I were to return it, don't forget to return. If I were to return it, the student is also going to see its own version. Let's see what the student is seeing. So this was the journal number one. Journal number one. Let it load. Oh, well, this is the student that didn't do it, right? Yeah, it's the Mr. Moedano's the other one. Let's join in the other class. So here's the other student, the one that actually did it and got the comments. So journal, there it is. So the private comments I'm posting here are seen here as well. And he's going to also see the comments on his own document. So here is it as a student. You see how it was commented. You see my comments. And the student can choose to accept them or reject them. So if he accepts them, the changes will be made. And now, once it's done, he has the option of, if you want to, resubmit for full credit with the changes already. And now you're back at this. You're able to see his work again. If you were to see your work and the assignment and refresh, you would see that a student resubmitted for full grade. I mean, I personally do not accept resubmissions, but if you're willing to, you can go ahead and do that. You see the changes he accepted, you change the grade, and you return it, and there it is. And he's gonna see the changes himself as well. Refresh, and there it is. You see, it's a 10 out of 10 now. That's cool. Now, what else could you do? Well, as a teacher, this was only one student, and I'm getting emails here as a student, you see, so students will also get emails all the time. So as a teacher, you're going to see not just one student, you're going to be grading a ton of them. And sometimes they're going to have the same mistakes, the same issues. So if you want to save yourself the trouble of always typing the same thing over and over 30 times, or as a high school teacher, about 250 times, you might want to do a little comment bank. So here, this area, you can actually create text. Like it says, highlight the text to create a new comment. Type it up, you see, and add a comment to the bank to use later. So what you can do is, for example, let's say this was on the beach, something like that, and you could say, or you could say it as a comment. Where was it? Comment. Where's the comment section? There it is. You could say add to bank. Maybe you want to add something yourself. Don't forget to fix your grammar. Something generic that you can, or look at the squig. Look at. I like to call them. Look at the squiggly lines provided by Google Docs, by the Google Docs. So this is the way I want to add it to my comment bank, and once it's ready, I can always copy it, and I can just post it right there, boom, everywhere. So that's how the comment bank works. If I wanted to add a comment, I've seen it before. Is it this one? There it is. I heard that you could just start typing it. Or hello, this is a sample. You could also make a comment, and like Google said, add to comment bank, you see, and you will see it directly there. But yeah, you have to copy it from the comment bank and bring it over. So sometimes it pays to write a good little couple of sentences, and it'll pay off as a student, as a teacher, because the student will see that you're actually writing a lot for their paper. It actually they like that. Now let's go to auto grading, and we already did grading, feedback, comment bank. So how about we go to grading on the quizzes, auto grading. So let's create a quick assignment again. I know I taught you guys this in a previous video. We're going to call this quiz number 2. And I'm going to show you how to create a auto graded quiz. Let's call this 10 points. When does this due? If I want to make it due tomorrow, I want kids to take it to tomorrow, so 30. You want to set up a time, 5 o'clock. That works. And let's go ahead and create a topic for quizzes. That's already there. Now let's go to this quiz. So we're going to call this quiz number 2. And let's see, 2 plus 2 is equal to. And like once again, this is multiple choices. Look at my other video. I already talked about how to make these in detail. And look, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you want to make this auto-graded, you can actually set up an answer key. So notice here at the bottom, when you click on this, you would actually tell Google which was the right answer. And don't forget to give this question some points. I'm going to make this worth 1 point, and I'm going to click done. So now this is going to be auto-graded when somebody does it. Let's do 2 more questions. How about, let's do this one. Select the puppy. You can make a checkbox answer. So this would be, you can actually add pictures. You can even look at the pictures from online, puppy. So I'm going to pick this puppy. I'm going to pick, this puppy, insert. There it is. And I can add another option. I don't want to add text. I just want to add pictures. I'm going to add a cat. That's a good one. Right there. There it is. I think I can't. No, I can't remove the text, I guess. Let's add, and let's do one more puppy. Google image search, because this is a checkbox selection. Puppy. Okay. Now let's do this one. And when we do this, guys, once again, make this a required question, so that when the student clicks submit and they didn't answer the question, Google will force them to answer it. And what if I tell this one is worth 2 points? So this question is going to be worth more than the first one. That's why they ask you to base it on points. So this one was worth 1 point. It even says down here 1 point. This one's going to be worth 2 points. And now the answer for this is actually going to be a checkbox right there. Puppy. Boom. There it is. It's worth 2 points. And finally, let's do one more. Let's do multiple choice. No, checkbox. Now here's a tricky one. Short answer. It could be tricky because you gotta make sure Google knows exactly what's going to be the answer key. So if I were to say what's 3 or 10 times 3, 10 times 3. How about that? Well, if you want to do a short answer for this one, it's going to be tricky because you got to say the answer is going to be a number. It's going to be a number. But what's going to be the number? Answer key. You got to say, well, the answer is going to be 30. But what happens if the student puts a space before the 30? What happens if he puts 30 and then a space? You see, those are the tricky things that you got to watch out for, and you want to mark all of them as correct. Sorry, as correct. You want to make this worth 1 point. Let's see, done. So my correct answers could be 30. It could be space bar 30, 30, and then the space. Because again, students, you know how they are. They could just put a space by accident. Or what if they want to type 30? That's why free response could be a little tricky on Google Docs. So you just gotta be careful on that. And what if they misspell 30? It's a whole chaos. But again, it is possible. It's just you gotta find the right questions for that. So once it's ready, there it is. I think we're good to go. And it's been saved. Look, it already saves automatically. If I were to refresh the page, I think the quiz is also going to be changed. Look at this. Edit assignment. Now it doesn't say blank. It says quiz number 1. So it looks like we're ready to go. If I were to assign it, here's what's going to happen. Bam. It's assigning. I'm going to go back to student mode, my other browser. And we're going to click on, in the calendar. We're going to click on all of these. So you see, there's a new quiz due tomorrow, quiz number 2. If we click on this quiz and the student goes on it, that's true. I'm sorry. This is I'm gonna have to go to another account just because this is these not in the same domain. There it is. So let's go to my other student. There it is. Due tomorrow, quiz number 2. And he's ready to do the quiz. So look, he's gonna put a 2 there. 2 plus 2 equals 2. Select the puppy. Well, there's a puppy here, there's a puppy there. And for my answer here, I'm gonna put a 30. So if I click submit, the student is gonna be able to view the score. you got a 3 out of 4. Remember, this one was worth 2 points. And the quiz is going to tell them which ones they got wrong. You can change that. And you see, you got a little email. You can change that in the settings if you wanna use this like a high school teacher or middle school. If you're gonna use this quiz all day and you want to avoid students from cheating or passing the answers, you can go to the quiz, click on the gear, click on quizzes, make this a quiz. Respondent can see which questions they missed. You can take that out. Which answers are correct later on, and next students, they won't see that again. Let's say if they refresh, notice how the student was unable to see it anymore. They see the score, they see this one they got wrong, they see this they got right, but again, it's not telling them when it was wrong. So that's a little, it helps if you're going to use a quiz all day. Point values if they want to see it, and etc. And that's basically how you can use Google Classroom and Google Forms to automatically grade your homework. And if you wanted to put this on the gradebook, let's see it as a teacher. So as a teacher, you're on this quiz again. If you click on responses, you're going to see as a whole all the students. And if you want to see individually, this is the student this is the grade per student. Here's the thing though. I made a quick mistake because I did not ask, like in my other video, you should always ask for their last name, which is going to be ungraded, and their first name. And why is that? Because I think you already noticed that I do have data, but I don't know who turned it in. Now, I do see their email, but again, sometimes you have 2 people that are named Vasquez or 2 people that are this or that. And why risk it? So always have for last name and first name so you can see who goes with what. And when you see their name, you see their points. You do your grading on the same out of 4 points, and it'll be easy to calculate.